All right, so let's start by looking at the four different kinds of graphs that you can have when you are solving and then graphing for an inequality. In this first example, I have a solution that says x is less than 3. And what it means in terms of the graph is that all the values that are less than 3 but not including 3 make this statement true. So when I go to graph it, I have to make sure that I circle the 3 and leave it open. In this case, I have x is less than or equal to 3. So that means that it is all the numbers that are less than 3, and in this case, including 3. And I represent that by doing a solid circle. Here, x is greater than 3, but not including 3. So open circle and all the numbers that are greater than 3. X is greater than or equal to 3. So all the numbers, including 3, that are greater than 3. Another very important thing to know when working with inequalities is if I have, for example, a situation where negative x is less than 3, right? This is not the final form of my solution because I can't have negative x being my solution. I have to represent this as x is our solution. So I do that by multiplying everything by -1, right? Because -1 times negative x gives me x. So while the -1 applies to negative x, and while it applies to 3, I have to remember that it also applies to the inequality. So in this case, it's going to change from less than to greater than -3. Okay, this is a very important thing to know because sometimes you might forget. Okay, so now let's take a look at a specific example. Let's say I have -3x plus 2 is less than 2x plus 12. I like to keep all my variables on the left side of the equation, so I'm going to move the 2x over. That gives me -5x plus 2 is less than 12. And then I'm going to move the 2 over to the other side. -5x is less than 10. Now, you'll see here that I'm going to divide by a negative number, right? So that means that the negative is also going to apply to the inequality side. So this becomes x is actually greater than 10 divided by -5 is -2. So my graph is going to look like this. It is going to be all the numbers that are greater than -2, but not including 2, right? Because it is greater than -2, not greater than equal or equal to -2. Okay, so I have done two things with this. I have solved it and I have graphed it. But there's also a third very important step, which is to check the solution to make sure that it is true. In this case, I can't pick -2 and test it to see if it's true because -2 is not included in my solution. So I have to choose literally any other number that falls under the solution. In this case, I'm going to pick 0 because it's easy to work with and it falls under the x values that make the statement true. So I'm going to use my original equation, the one that I was given, and see if it comes out to be true. So -3 times 0 plus 2 is less than 2 times 0 plus 12. So if this comes out to be a true statement, then I know that x is greater than -2 is a true solution. -3 times 0 is 0 plus 2 should be less than 2 times 0 is 0 plus 12. 2 is less than 12. That is true, which means that x being greater than -2 is a true solution to this inequality.